Now to a developing story out of the disputed area of Kashmir. Now, the Pakistani military claims 3 of their troops were killed in an exchange with gunfire with India along the border. 5 Indian soldiers were also killed. However, India is denying the report. Tensions have soared between the 2 nuclear-armed countries as both India and Pakistan have claims to the area. So to go further in depth, we turn to former Pentagon official Michael Maloof. Thank you for joining us. Michael, we just had you on a week ago, 2 weeks ago. There was gunfire that was starting at the borders. Where do we stand currently at this point? Because it's not really getting the attention, I think, based on all the other disruptions that we have around the world right now.
Right, but it also, that's the problem, because that episode, what's occurring right now in that part of the world, could have a cascading of impact and create tremendous problems throughout the world and actually aggravate other tensions.
So it's not de-escalating. It's actually continuing exactly what it is. It's getting even more.
It is, and the problem is that India and Pakistan are shooting across the borders. Disputes over, there's some disputes over whether who was killed. Some civilians were affected in the Pakistani area. Now the Chinese back the Pakistanis, the United States backs the Indians, and the Chinese tomorrow intend to take the matter before the UN Security Council because India and Pakistan are deadlocked on this entire matter.
And that's the whole question. Why is it taking, first of all, China to get involved and take it to the UN? Why is the UN not getting involved with this at this point? I mean, is that why we have the UN?
That's a good question. What happened was that both of those countries long ago agreed to make their issue bilateral, which thereby said that it could not be taken to the UN. So what's going to happen tomorrow when China brings it up before the UN Security Council, there's going to be a debate over the legality of even bringing it before the UN Security Council. So this is where things are. What I envision happening, because they're both nuclear powers, right, and nobody wants them to get out of control, I envision a sort of a China-Russia security arrangement, a cooperative type of thing to try to bring all parties together and work things out. But right now, they're at such deadlocks that, and India is feeling its oats because it is their Independence Day, number one,
right,
and they just took away all of the rights of the Kashmiris there. And they've cut off internet, everything, and those people basically are living in the dark.
From the outside world. Well, you mentioned China getting involved. You mentioned the United States, and I don't know how active, maybe you can enlighten us on how active the United States is, but are there any other countries in the region that are getting involved or close to getting involved?
Well, certainly China and Russia will be as well, ultimately. U.S. is reluctant. I think it will quietly side with the Indians, but I think what they need to do is begin to push these countries, these 2 countries, antagonists, together to talk, maybe have something to someone as an intermediary and work things out.
But you think that'd be what the UN would be right now, since they have them all on the supposedly equal grounds tomorrow?
Well, you would hope so, but right now, this minute, given the differences between the 2 countries, I don't see how they're going to come together with any compromise, because the Pakistanis do not like what's happening to the Muslim majority in Kashmir, in the Indian-controlled portion of Kashmir. See, Kashmir is divided.
Right.
Pakistani and Indian Kashmir, and the Indian Kashmir is majority Muslim.
Right.
And they want to go, and they want to have, number one, their autonomy, but they prefer to side with the Pakistanis.
Well, and that's the thing, because critics of the Pakistanis are going, wait a minute, you're screaming human rights violations in India. It's the reason why other countries need to get involved. Yeah. You have no right to talk. Look at what's going on in your country. Mm-hmm. Do they have any sort of right to say this? Is there any sort of gravitas to this?
Yeah, they assert it. You know, they all assert it. But there are legitimate concerns about what happened was that India promised one time to the Kashmiris that there would be a referendum. They never happened. Never happened.
Well, never make promises you can't keep, whether it's at home or abroad.
And now it's coming back to bite them.
And it usually does. Thank you. Just ask any politician elected. Thank you for joining us.
You.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.